Hi everyone, we are excited for a special edition today where Knowledge2Empower will meet the Brave Bear Club. And I'm chatting today with Kate, and we hope to give you some introduction and some ideas about why we both are working to improve epilepsy education and to connect with families. Welcome, Kate. I'm so excited to chat with you today. And maybe we can start off and you can tell us little bit about you and how you came to the journey of creating this cute bear wave here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My daughter was diagnosed with infantile spasms in August of 2022, and it feels like a lifetime ago, but also like just yesterday. It's kind of been a whirlwind. If you're in epilepsy, you understand that. And, the lack of resources, but also, positive and comforting resources was, something that made an already hard journey a little bit harder. And EEGs, especially how important they are, they're hard. I wouldn't want to get it done, but also a toddler, that was tough. So, trying to have something that did it with her was how I came up with waves. And yeah, I mean, I love seeing other kids have them now, and Charlotte loves seeing it. It's been so cool for them, her to say, like, they get their head checked like me. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, I really love this little guy. I mean, I got a chance to play with him a couple of videos ago, and it's so cute how he has this little EG cap which can be removed, and he's even carrying his backpack with all the wires in there. So I think that's really cute. And you also went all the way and actually created a book for kids and families. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, we did that first, and neither project were ever intended, but that's life. So the book is Char Bear Keeps Dancing, and I know we had talked about this that, what does keep dancing mean? And, Charlotte was only a toddler, so by no means was she, dancing really. But she always, especially she was very speech delayed, and oh gosh, the steroids, the medicine, everything is just really really tough. And we thought that she just, gosh, I worried she would never smile again, or just that it felt like it was stealing a lot, and it was hard. But music has always been something that has made her light up, and she always moved around too. And we noticed that, even being in the hospital, because epilepsy is so different for everybody, music seemed to be something that, whether the child was older or younger, and regardless of differing abilities or development, that they really enjoyed music, and that seemed to be something that just transcended a lot. And Keep Dancing, Dr. Chris and I, who I wrote the book with, she put it so well that, keeping dancing is really just committing to finding joy in whatever your journey may be. And just like anything, it's better when we dance together. So, hopefully, I think my main hope is that, the book and the bear, while they can bring some comfort, it can also um, be something that all of our brains do dance differently. And epilepsy is not something that should be, well, it can be devastating, too scary to talk about.
No, I think I love this about it because we all, I think, like music and dancing and know it can relax us. And we actually have a video with our character, Zippy and Zappy, where we explain how seizures happen if our non so well behaved neuron, let's call him like this, likes to dance too much and, jumps
Yep.
around. But I think the core of all of this is to show that not everything about epilepsy has to be negative, and there can be fun ways about learning about it and connecting and feeling comfortable. And that's what I love so much about your bear and the story. And I think this is where our two programs are very similar to each other, because we are talking about small children, we are talking about families, and of course there's a lot of uh, grief and frustration about this. No one chooses to have epilepsy, but I think we can try to see it from the lighter way, which I really love about it. Well, this is so cool that we meet, and we are going to chat about my program in a second, but I think it's so cool that we connected. It's such a great way to discuss. And now we are, of course, going to link all the information about your little bear and the book. Is there something you want to say to everyone following us about your program? So finish.
Oh gosh, putting me on the spot there. Really just being able to connect with you and learn about your program and have that be something that happened throughout this really difficult journey is, I think, really special and a nice silver lining. So thank you.
That's great. Yeah, I feel the same. I'll let Kate ask me some complicated questions this time.
Yes. So tell me how you focused on Zippy and Zappy, and of all the parts of the brain, why those?
Oh, I think this is actually a fun part of our journey, because I wanted to have two neurons, and this is a super neuron, as you can see, who are best buddies, and explain how we can have some cells in the brain that are more likely to start seizures than others. And there's also a bit of the idea that sometimes your healthy brain cells might be strong enough to prevent a seizure, and then they get really weak, for example, if you don't sleep enough, or when you are sick, and then you have more seizures. So we wanted these two to be best buddies and explain how they work with each other and how you can strengthen or weaken one by giving medications or not sleeping enough or things like this. And then what we did is, actually, these are not my creations, but Paula's. She works with me for Knowledge2Empower. And she, in a spur of creativity, uh, generated a lot of different neurons. So we had firefighter neurons, sporty neurons, um, Minecraft inspired neurons, like all kinds of things where you could think like kids could love this. And then we had the families and the healthcare workers in our hospital vote which of the characters they liked most. And the superheroes won. So this is like how it came up. And then, of course, for the names, we had to look a little bit around, but we felt Zippy and Zappy is like electrifying, like the neurons or the brain cells. So this is how the two were created, and they are real, like the choice of the people who hopefully watch the videos after. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I love that. Who is the naughty one?
Well, that was actually a big discussion. Do we want to call him naughty, or do we want to call him, the less well behaved? Because of course, having epilepsy is not necessarily naughty, but Zappy is the one who sometimes zaps out with lots of energy, and Zippy is the one who's usually his best friend. Actually, the dark purple one is the one who doesn't have epilepsy, so I currently am holding the plush. What we also have in the plush, you can see, is he has a battery level. And when he gets really exhausted and can't take care so well of his body, then these batteries in our video are low, and he's not as energized anymore.
Interesting. I love that. I think we all should have little batteries like that.
Don't make life easier for sure. Yes.
Right? Yeah. I think I love talking about this because I never had epilepsy, obviously, but learning so much about the brain throughout Charlotte's journey is, I think everybody can really benefit from understanding these things. And these are great little mascots that everybody could learn from.
Oh, absolutely. And I think this is what we also want to do. Our program is actually on a journey. So the purple is, of course, the color of epilepsy. So this is why these are our epilepsy neurons, but we could now also have some which are different colored. We have one which has more of a coral color for the normal neurons. So we try to teach kids in schools about the brain. And we in the future maybe we'll have a blue one for autism awareness. So I think that's the neat thing about this character is they are just neurons with different strengths and
Yeah.
weaknesses.
Yeah, because everybody, has that, and epilepsy is something that can affect anybody at any time. And that that was something that I think a lot of people still don't understand, that you don't do anything wrong necessarily, and it can just happen, which is scary, but true.
Yes, and I think this is the message we want to share. So our two characters are the basis of a whole set of videos. If people are interested in this, they can search for Knowledge to Empower or at Excited Brain, and they will be able to register to watch our videos. But I think what we really want to share is that epilepsy has a big variety, and you can be having seizures or having epilepsy and still have a really good and normal life. And I think it's not oversharing when I tell you that I know colleagues of mine who work as physicians or teachers or neuroscientists, and they have epilepsy and they live brilliant and great lives. And I think we share this not enough that it's a disease like any other where you can have hopefully good control of your seizures, and then it is just something we have to live with. It's never easy to have a chronic disease, but I think it's um, we don't talk about it enough in society, and it's still a bit of a back block box where people are frightened of big seizures and awful scenarios, which might not be so true. And I think you mentioned that for your bear, and it's definitely true for our characters. We love that these are fun. You can play with them, they're enjoyable, and not everything about this is just negative.
Yeah, and it isn't always the case for everyone. There are very different variations, but all the more reason for research and talking about it more. That doesn't mean that we should talk about it less. So I completely think the more people that can learn and understand, hopefully we can get more treatments, better treatments, and everyone one day can have control.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the nice thing, maybe to round our conversation up, I think the nice thing about the two of us connecting is I believe that if you want to learn something and you want to have fun with something, it has to be fitting with your taste, with what you enjoy, right? And it's so good to have different choices about how people can learn about this play, and kids can have different positive experiences. So I think it's really great that we were able to exchange our experience in this journey of, you know, spreading knowledge about epilepsy. And I hope that many people will join us because it's such an important topic.
So now anyone can watch your videos. They can anybody can go on and watch, like, Knowledge is Power. What is the best way that I can share with our community how they can, besides following you, what is the best way for them to get all of your information?
So I think we will link our homepage below, and there is a form that you have to fill in if you want to watch the videos. The main reason that we don't have an open YouTube channel at this point is that I have made the experience that sometimes knowledge also can be frightening. So we really want to choose the right videos for what questions you have. So if you fill out our form, you will be contacted by one of us just asking, like, where are you in your journey? Did you just have a diagnosis? Are you already an expert? Do you want to learn, for example, about surgery? Or I know that your book also includes, like, rare treatments like VNS and ketogenic diet. So if you are an expert already, then you will get different videos than if you just have been diagnosed. And this is why we chose to have it behind the wall, not because it's everyone can watch it, but we want to choose the right information for you.
That's awesome. So it will be especially curated for that person and their journey wherever they're at. That's awesome.
Exactly. This is what we love about like having these short videos because they're really flexible. And if you want to motivate the children, there's little games and riddles that come with it. So there's also a playful component about it. And we will see how it goes.
Awesome. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for connecting today. And I'm sure that these two friends will connect more often in the future. It was great to chat today. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much.